Hello, and now to your travel reporter, Mr. Seth Miles. When you need a break, don't travel to Europe, don't travel to the Far East, stay right here on the island of Manhattan. We come to the last corner at 125th and 5th. It's a big corner, it's privately owned, but it's disgusting, it's ugly. In such a beautiful neighborhood, 4 beautiful brownstones, they fit in with the rest of the block. They were vacant for about 30 years. And then about 4 years ago, the owner decided to tear them down and to build a high-rise. He wanted to build a 15-story building initially. The zoning changed. He said, I can't afford to build it, it doesn't make sense, and he abandoned the project. Well, that was only 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and the yard has been sitting like that and hurting our neighborhood. He went back to his beautiful little home in a little estate in a little town called Great Neck, New York, where poor people live.
And so we got a big hole in our ground. And this place, they should have never tore it down. They should have built it up because they had a restaurant on it called La Famille, which everybody knows means my family or the family. And La Famille was the home of jazz every Friday and Saturday. People used to come all over the country, and people used to sit there, people used to eat, but they forced them out of there. And all they did was put a hole in the ground.
He left us with broken sidewalks. He left us with wooden fence that collapses, scrapes, bulges. The owner of this lot is encroaching on the public sidewalk. On 5th Avenue, he is stealing from the citizens about 10 by 7, about 700 square feet of sidewalk. He doesn't post the signs that are necessary. There are so many violations on here. In fact, he was summoned to court, DCB court, to answer the violations. He defaulted on about 15 of them, 20 of them. He owes about $75,000 in defaults because he never showed up. There are holes in the fence and the cement. People could fall down. Literature gets posted on the wooden fence, makes the place look ugly. Okay, now on this corner of 125th and 5th, in the summer, a group of folk gather. They bring out their lawn furniture, their hassocks, their sofas, and they have a jolly good old time here on the corner. They spend the day here. One gentleman brings a pot, he brings a propane tank, and they cook crabs right here against the wooden wall. They block the sidewalk. Do the police care about the blocking of the sidewalk and people have to walk in the street to get by? They don't care. Now, what also you should know is every city official knows about this corner. The commissioner of the Department of Transportation, who's responsible for the sidewalk, knows about it. In fact, the city just settled a big lawsuit where somebody fell on this sidewalk, and the city paid a big sum of money to the injured person because the sidewalk is injured. Because the person was injured. Does the city fix this? No, they let it stay. Does the Department of Buildings care about this fence? They don't care. There's about 15 violations written by inspectors from the Department of Buildings saying that the fence is illegal, it doesn't comply with the code, it's got to be fixed. Did the owner fix it? No. Does the city make the owner fix it? No. Does the commissioner of the Department of Buildings know everything about this corner? They know everything. Are they doing anything? They're not doing anything. The Department of Consumer Affairs knows about this corner. If you have a restaurant and you don't have water up to a certain temperature in the sink, they fine you, they take your license away. Here's an obvious case of dirty cooking. Raw crabs are brought in here. They're cooked outdoors. Oh, by the way, when you get a crab, a soft shell crab, cooked in the pot on the sidewalk, you also get at least a dozen flies in with your crabs. The Department of Consumer Affairs, the Health Department won't even come out here because they don't care. Let's talk about the real bottom line. We are in 125th Street and 5th Avenue. When you have seen this, in the previous shots of this show you this is an all right neighborhood. Now, many people haven't been up here because they say, if I come to 125th Street, it's Harlem. And if you walk in Harlem, you get shot. They pick your pocket. They pick your shoelaces. Well, that ain't true. Coming up here and you'll find out. By looking at what's going on, it sure looks like to the observer that there's favoritism in the allocation of city resources. It sure looks like it. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like the Department of Transportation and the Building Department says, you know what? This is Harlem. They don't deserve equal services, city services. Don't give them services. But if we have a certain budget, we have to give services to the area below 96th Street. 96th Street is the, quote, dividing line between the rich, white Upper East Side and the Harlem community, the poor blacks and the poor minorities. And it sure seems like to me that the city administration is not giving us our fair share of resources. And why do I say us? Because I live right here on 5th Avenue in a beautiful brownstone. I bought it 10 years ago and I wouldn't move. Us is all of us that have made a commitment to live here and make our homes here. And I ain't gonna run away. I'm gonna make this neighborhood a great neighborhood, a great place to live. Every politician is in favor of gentrification. It's the best thing that can happen to any community. If you define gentrification as what it really is, the right definition of gentrification is economic upgrading. Everybody's in favor of that. 10 years ago when I bought the house, I knew it was the right thing to do. And now I believe even more it's the right thing to do. Because I know that Harlem is a very special place.